Welcome back to,
Me not being able to see the stream.
yeah, 1 second. You're also not gonna be able to hear the audio. Let me change the track. Okay. Okay. We're good now. Anyway, I feel like I should clarify. When I say fuck this game and its story, I say that out of love because I love this series. I love this game and series.
I would also like to point out that the Kingdom Hearts on its own is kind of amazing for how consistent it manages to be while mashing a bunch of stories together that were never intended to interact.
Yeah.
Like, it's probably on par with, like, it's not MCU territory where it's just this amazing triumph, but it's pretty close. I would say it's slightly below Who Framed Roger Rabbit in terms of its managing to maintain consistency while mashing together a bunch of different things, you know?
Yes. And actually, I'm doing something I never usually do when I start this game, because I usually just go and go, but I'm actually gonna buy these guys better equipment.
Cool.
Which I don't usually do. I usually wait until you get a better selection and I have more money, but figured might as well.
Yeah. So, where were we? Birth by Sleep. All right. So, the state of Xehanort in Birth by Sleep is we have No Name, who had been sent back to before then, probably to assist old Xehanort in the Vanitas plan and the Terra plan. The only way for this to work would mean that someplace along this future timeline, young Xehanort must have sent himself back. Older, young Xehanort, one or the other. Meaning that it would have had to have been Terranort who sent himself back.
Yeah,
however,
that's what I figure, and I think it's the case.
This cannot be, because we know the status of Xemnas' heart from Kingdom Hearts 1 onward. So, that would mean that we're dealing with an Avengers Endgame situation, where not only where we have one universe, we have multiple separate timelines that interact with one another. So, that would mean that young Xehanort from another timeline, likely visited in Kingdom Hearts 3, or Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, sent himself back to assist himself in a different timeline.
I think that is the case. I think he did send, I don't think it's just one variation of his heart, I think he sent himself back to multiple locations.
Yes.
I think the thing is that he broke his heart up into multiple fragments and sent some of those fragments back in time. Different points in time, I should say. Not necessarily. I shouldn't have said back in time, because that was probably the wrong way to describe it. What I should have said last episode was that he sent himself back to different points in the timeline. Different points in the story where he himself can influence certain characters and events.
Now, there's two reasons why I believe the multiverse thing is the case. Reason number one, which is the least important reason, it makes sense chronologically and canonically. Reason number two, it's just stupid and hacky enough for Nomura to write it. So, it's perfect.
Fair.
Right. So, Birth by Sleep leads into point 2. Birth by Sleep, you've played that, right?
Fragmentary Passage? No.
Yes. No, okay. So we have no idea. That's a blank spot. We don't know. So if we have any factual inconsistencies based off of that, then don't tell us. It's a spoiler.
We'll find out.
Right. Kingdom Hearts 1. Young, I'm gonna call him No Name. No Name exists in the cave where he's been waiting for Sora to arrive. Once Sora arrives, he does his job and likely goes off to do other things. Don't know what those things are, but he does those things, and I'm sure he does a good job with those things. He's a very successful man, very ambitious.
By Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah, you can tell that whatever he was doing, he was successful with it. So,
at this point, current Terranort has been split off into two separate entities. He has worked with Ansem the Wise and gained knowledge of the Heartless and how to use them properly to give himself more power and to split himself off. So I'm thinking this right here is the beta state of the Xehanort Horcrux. This is where he first gave it a shot, and this is where he split himself into Xemnas and Ansem. right? Right?
Maybe. I don't remember. We'd have to play Dream Drop, because I think he talks about more of splitting his heart up and sending it to poignant points of the timeline and story.
Yeah, but he hasn't put himself into his research assistants yet. Like, he's left Isa alone. He hasn't done that with Lee or any of them yet. Or
Yes, by
Brave.
this point, well, for Kingdom Hearts 1, because they don't necessarily... I don't want to say they don't exist, but they're never talked about. I don't know where they're at.
This is where Xemnas is gathering followers and gaining influence, right? Because he's working under Ansem, but the people he's working with, all of Ansem's old lab assistants that were previously on equal ground with Xehanort, who's just this young upstart who came in to work for Ansem, they're loyal to Xehanort, not to Ansem.
Yes.
Even Lee and Isa, who are best friends, especially Lee, who seems like a pretty laid-back kind of guy, goes from this goofy kid to violent assassin.
How did he get so small?
Right, so, Birth by Sleep Point 2, Kingdom Hearts 1. This is the point where Xemnas and Ansem are created from Xehanort, and Ansem the Wise is cast into the realm of darkness. It is mostly consumed until he becomes Dis, right? I'm assuming that while Ansem the Wise is in the realm of darkness, he has no protection, meaning he's being literally consumed and ripped apart as he's trying to cobble together something to keep him alive.
Yeah.
That's the idea I got from his clothing design, is that those are probably scraps of different robes that people have worn to protect themselves. And he also implies that he did some pretty messed up shit while he was in the realm of darkness.
Yeah.
He manages to get a hold of a full cowl at one point, though.
I don't think it's is it ever stated what Diz stands for?
Well, it's short for Disney.
No, it's not.
Isn't?
No.
What does this stand
It's an
for?
anagram.
Sid? Zid?
No, not anagram. What's the word that it's usually it's like 3 to 4 letters, but it has it stands for something.
What is this?
Well, anyway, it stands for darkness and zero.
Oh. Okay. Don't know what that means. Moving on.
I don't get it either, but I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah. See, I would assume that Ansem the Wise got the shit kicked out of him while he was there, and most of what was him is now being cobbled together and replaced by that armor. And it's heavily implied that he did some dire shit to get to that point.
Oh yeah. I'm
assuming he straight up murdered a couple people.
One thing we're doing, and I will potentially try to do, if not, I'll load a different save so we can. Specifically my 100%. We're reading the reports.
Okay, because I've never read all of them.
And those some of them offer plot, so...
So I'm guessing it's implied that Ansem was a pretty morally dubious person before he got cast into the realm of darkness.
It's implied that, for the sake of science. Science for the sake of science. Like, actual... As dark as it is to bring up, people do some fucked up shit in the name of science.
Yeah, he's like your Mengele type, where he's an evil person, yes, but he's also a scientist in pursuit of knowledge.
Yes. He might not think what he's doing is technically evil or bad because he's doing it in the name of science, but yeah, yep. Because I think in one of the reports it says that he just has a bunch of heartless in the basement that he's experimenting on.
Yep, which were people at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's implied that he's your kind of scientific pursuits over morality type, kind of like some of the scientists that exist in Rapture and BioShock.
Yes.
Okay. So Xehanort would probably like use that against him and go, hey guys, look, this guy we're working for is a monster. We need to get rid of him. He's a problem. I don't want to kill anybody, so what we're going to do is cast him into the realm of darkness. He'll be fine. He'll think of a way to protect himself, but he won't be able to get out, meaning he can't hurt any more people. And then from there, Xehanort would simply take his place, use the power that Ansem has accumulated to gain power over the Heartless and over the world, really, over the galaxy.
That could be, but also I don't think Ansem himself was cast out by Xemnas. I think Ansem just realized, I fucked up. I am showing remorse for my sins now. I am going to go into hiding in the realm of darkness for now and infiltrate the organization alongside someone else and study their movements and what they're doing. So I don't think he necessarily got cast out because he even says, yes, I've infiltrated the organization and that's what I'm doing right now. In Kingdom Hearts 2, if you remember correctly.
Absolutely, and he does that through Roxas, right?
Through Roxas as well as
through Xion as well.
Roxas, Xion, as well as Riku is there alongside. That's the character I was specifically talking about, is Riku helping him out.
So the three characters he influenced the world through were Roxas and Riku.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, all three of them, Roxas and Riku.
Well, I don't think he ever came into contact with Roxas. I don't remember 358 very much, but I don't think he ever was in contact.
It's only two people then. So it was Riku.
Yes, only two. Only Riku.
All two of them. All two of them. Riku. Can't remember the other one's name. I don't know. It escapes me at the moment. That's the best. Anyhow,
I think to an extent, yeah, based on 358 and what was happening with Xion, because she wanted to rebel. I guess we should probably wait for 358 to talk about that, but I think she also was talked to by Diz. I'm not sure though.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, like I said, I don't think he got necessarily cast out. I think he just felt remorse for what he had done and realized he needs to find a way to fix this. And in his mind, the best way to go about fixing this is going and standing against the organization.
Yeah, it was to remove himself from play by entering the world of darkness.
Yes.
Basically just removing himself from the game board, you know. And when he got back, he had to disguise himself, so he put on the and the robes wouldn't have been enough because someone could just knock back the hood. So he put on the blackface, he put on the red bandages.
Did what he needed his name to Diz.
Changed his name to Diz. Hired Christopher Lee to do his voice acting. You know, all the things you need to do to disguise yourself, blackface and all.
Yeah.
So, right. Okay, that's where we are with Ansem, Xemnas, and Xehanort, Heartless, taking on the name of Ansem. Now split into two separate entities and are making their own plans. Ansem, using the known villainy of the Heartless, let's say Ansem Xehanort when I'm referring to the villain of Kingdom Hearts 1 from now on. Ansem Xehanort.
Just call him Heartless. Heartless Ansem. Or Heartless Xehanort, whichever.
Alright.
Because it's the Heartless of Xehanort who took on the name of Ansem, who then died and got turned into a nobody.
Yeah, it's not like yes.
Who took on the name of Xemnas? Okay.
All right, so
I've got a headache.
Xehanort using the Heartless method splits himself into two separate people. Xemnas and Ansem Xehanort, which is what I want to call him. Going forward.
Goodbye, Donald.
Xemnas goes to the world of darkness using Castle Oblivion and the world that never was to achieve his goals. He gathered his students back together, who were all also split from themselves in the same experiment gone wrong.
Yep.
He gathers them all together, gathers Braig, gathers Lee, and all those people.
We can talk about that, but we probably shouldn't discuss who the other quote-unquote Horcruxes are until later.
That doesn't happen until later. He's just getting his followers together. He's just helping out his boys at this point. He goes, all right, I gotta get my boys.
Technically, it is happening now because of a certain character who, if you notice their eye color...
Okay, we can go back and look at their eye colors later, but for now...
Not in Kingdom Hearts 1 specifically, but I think in Birth by Sleep. Also, this is the end of the episode, so thank you all for watching. We'll continue this discussion later.